If you are anything like us, you know exactly what it feels like to live inside a mind that just never stops.
Yeah, that constant loop, right?
We-
Thinking about yesterday, planning tomorrow.
Exactly. And it leaves you feeling completely drained, but you still can't really switch off. It's like the default setting these days is just mental exhaustion.
hmm And that feeling, that fragmentation, is precisely what the sources we're looking at today aim to address. Our mission here is to really dive deep into mindfulness meditation,
Right.
specifically through the lens of the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, which is quite a unique perspective. We're not just talking relaxation here.
No, this feels different.
It's more like examining a specific spiritual technology.
Yeah.
The goal is quieting that internal noise, centering yourself, and fundamentally shifting your awareness.
It sounds like a powerful framework. And for you listening, we've pulled this directly from teachings attributed to Grandmaster WaXhira. He gets straight to the point.
It really does.
He says, to meditate is to enter the sacred space of the present moment. In that stillness, we become one with the divine, the self, and the universe. So it's clearly not just about sitting quietly.
No, it's positioned as a full path towards, well, spiritual coherence, you could say. And what's really interesting, I think, is how it starts. Unlike a lot of modern approaches that might focus purely on the psychological side.
Like self-help techniques.
Exactly. This Atlantean framework grounds the whole practice in physical and spiritual alignment right from the get-go. They basically argue that moving from the mind's chatter to the soul's silence needs a meticulously prepared physical body.
Okay, let's unpack that. The physical starting point. We all kind of know posture matters for comfort, right? But these Brotherhood sources seem to say it's about more than that. It's crucial for energy flow.
Yes, that's central to their teaching. The body needs to be able to hold what they call a state of alert equilibrium.
Alert equilibrium. Okay.
Sources mention two main positions. There's the classic lotus position, cross-legged.
Lean on eyes, yeah.
Or, more accessibly, just sitting in a chair, feet flat on the floor. But whichever you choose, the key rule is the same.
Which is?
The spine has to be upright, straight, relaxed, but alert, as you said.
Okay, the spine specifically. I mean, most of us know sitting up straight is good, but why is this framed as more than just like good ergonomic advice? Why a spiritual prerequisite?
It connects directly to what they call the internal current. A straight spine isn't about being rigid.
Right.
It's about creating an open channel. In their view of the cosmos, there's this vital life force everywhere, and it needs a clear path to flow through the body's central axis.
Ah.
So if you're slouching or slumped over, you're literally blocking the energy needed for deep meditation. The posture is like the architectural blueprint for the energy work that follows.
That really reframes it. Okay, so the body's set up relaxed, alert, spine straight, ready to be a conduit. But then comes a real challenge for most people, myself included, the mind. How does this system tackle that constant, chaotic stream of thoughts pulling us back to worries or forward into planning?
This is where the focus shifts inward. They teach that the mind essentially operates in time, it lives in memory, which is the past, and projection, which is the future.
Makes sense.
The only tool we have that is absolutely undeniably tied to the right now, the immediate present, is the breath.
Okay.
So the crucial step for quieting that mental chaos is anchoring your awareness completely in the breath.
We all breathe, obviously, but is there a specific technique taught here? Is it just about breathing slowly or?
It's less about controlling the breath aggressively and more about focusing purely on the sensation of it.
Sensation. How so?
You notice the texture, like the coolness of the air coming in through your nose, the warmth as it leaves through your mouth,
Yeah.
the subtle rise and fall of your chest or belly.
Ah, okay. Very physical.
Exactly. This intense focus on physical sensation forces the mind out of its usual time-traveling habits and plants it firmly in the now.
So what happens when that thought about, I don't know, that argument yesterday or the deadline tomorrow pops up? Because it always does. Do the teachings say to fight it or just try to ignore it?
Neither, actually. Fighting it just gives it more energy.
True.
And ignoring it can lead to suppression, which creates its own kind of tension. The instruction is simpler. Just acknowledge the thought, maybe even silently label it thinking.
Thinking.
And then immediately, without judging yourself for getting distracted, that's key. You gently return your awareness right back to the physical feeling of the breath. The breath is home base. You just keep coming back.
That non-judgmental return, that feels really important. Okay, so the breath is anchor number one, and tool number two, body awareness, seems like it builds directly on that.
Absolutely. Once you've got a rhythm with the breath, the awareness kind of expands outwards to include the whole body.
How does that work?
You're guided to mentally scan your body, notice any areas of tension, maybe discomfort, or even just warmth or coolness.
But you're not trying to fix it, like figure out why my shoulder is tense.
No, not analyzing, just
Excellent.
observing.
Yeah.
Simply noticing the physical reality of this moment, whatever it is, without judgment.
So it's like a dual grounding system. You've got the steady rhythm of the breath and then the current physical state of the body. Why is that combination so important before you move deeper?
Because it fundamentally shifts your focus from thinking about things to simply feeling what is. The sources suggest that the moment your awareness really locks on to the body's sensations, that internal chatter starts to lose its grip. You become more of an observer of your physical state rather than a participant tangled up in your mental stories.
Right.
And this preparation, clearing the channel with posture, settling the mind with breath and body focus, this is the necessary groundwork before you can really connect to, well, higher consciousness, according to this system.
Okay, that transition makes sense. And it brings us to the next tool, the one designed to really deepen the state and connect it directly to the spiritual side of the Atlantean teachings, the mantra.
Exactly. We've established a foundation of stillness. Now, the question is, how do you move beyond the individual self? The mantra is where the practice shifts gears. It moves from internal self-management, you could say, towards alignment with something larger.
Okay.
It's a sacred word or phrase. Common examples given are Om, or peace, or even I am, repeated silently, inwardly. Once the body and mind feel relatively stable,
And its main job.
its primary function, as described, is to dissolve the feeling of separation, to help the practitioner move awareness from the small individual mind, the ego, towards what they call the universal mind.
How does a simple word or phrase do that? What are the mechanics behind the mantra's power, according to these texts? It sounds like more than just giving the mind something to do.
It definitely is. They describe it as having three main purposes. Yes, number one, it helps focus and quiet the mind further. That's true. But the deeper goals are, two, to align the individual with the vibrational frequency of the universe.
Wow, okay. Vibrational frequency.
Yeah. The teaching is that everything, including sound, has a specific vibration. Mantras, being sacred sounds, carry a high, pure frequency. By repeating one, you're subtly tuning your own internal state, your own vibration, to resonate with that of the cosmos.
So literally tuning yourself like, I don't know, a radio, finding a clear station.
That's a good analogy, actually. And the third purpose, which follows from this tuning,
Is dissolving the ego.
exactly, because the ego in this Atlantean context is seen as that small, time-bound self, just a collection of personal memories, judgments, anxieties tied to this body, this personality.
Right, the me.
The me. By consistently aligning your focus with an impersonal sacred sound or concept, you start to shift your sense of identity away from that small self. You move beyond your personal story and begin to tap into the pure awareness that they say underlies everything.
That is quite profound. And this idea of a pure underlying consciousness, that's where the ocean symbol comes in from the first degree teachings, isn't it?
Precisely. The ocean is their key metaphor for this vast divine consciousness. Think of your everyday self, your ego, your daily life. That's like a wave on the surface.
Okay, moving, changing.
Full of motion, temporary, defined by its edges, gets hit by storms.
Yeah.
The ocean, though, is the deep, infinite body of water beneath all the waves. It's vast, eternal, fundamentally peaceful, regardless of the surface weather, and it permeates everything.
So the meditation practice, then, is the way you realize you're not just the temporary wave.
But you are fundamentally the ocean itself. Aligning with the ocean means realizing that everything is already connected within this infinite consciousness.
And the present moment is the doorway.
The present moment, anchored by breath and body, is the only point of contact with that deep reality, with the ocean. When you use the mantra to dissolve the boundaries of the ego, you get to experience that lack of separation directly, which is why Grandmaster WaXhira puts it so clearly. Meditation is the art of listening to the divine within, a doorway to peace, a bridge to the soul. It's about shifting from feeling separate to knowing you're part of the whole.
Okay, so we have this really structured path. Align the body for energy, anchor the mind in the present with breath and body, then use the mantra to tune in and dissolve separation. But meditation sessions end. Right.
Right.
You open your eyes and you're back in the world of waves, deadlines, traffic, difficult conversations. What happens then? How does this carry over?
That's a crucial point in the sources. The goal isn't just to have a nice, peaceful 20 minutes sitting down.
It's not an escape.
No. The ultimate aim is to cultivate a state of mindfulness that becomes seamless, that becomes your way of being in the world, the stillness and clarity you find inside. The idea is to carry that forward into every interaction, every task.
How does that actually look, practically speaking? Do these teachings give advice on how to bring that ocean perspective into, say, a really stressful meeting or a family argument?
It really comes down to applying that non-judgmental awareness consciously throughout the day, when things get chaotic or stressful.
When the waves get choppy.
Exactly. The person trained in this can, ideally, instantly access that feeling of alert equilibrium they practiced in their posture. They can do a quick internal check for tension body awareness and maybe consciously return to the feeling of their breath for just a moment or two.
Like a mini reset.
Kind of. They learn to see the daily stressors as just temporary surface disturbances, the waves. They practice choosing not to get swept away by the drama of the wave, but instead to rest their core sense of self in the stable depth of the ocean within that calm, vast consciousness.
That's just a pretty profound inner shift, doesn't it? If you can carry that stillness, you start to realize that peace or enlightenment aren't things you have to chase or achieve later.
That's the ultimate insight the Atlantean teachings point towards, yes. Peace, joy, enlightenment, they aren't external prizes or future destinations.
They're already here.
They're describes the essential nature of your being, already present, just waiting to be uncovered once the static of the ego, that constant worry machine, is quieted through practice, right here in the present moment. It's really a journey of remembering what you already are, deep down.
So, if this practice truly helps dissolve that ego identification and align us with that deeper, eternal flow of the ocean, what does that actually mean for how you view everyday conflict, or political shifts, or personal changes? If your core identity starts to feel less tied to the constantly changing surface wave and more connected to that vast, unchanging depth beneath it, how does that fundamentally alter your response to the inevitable storms of life? Could it allow you to stay centered, maybe even peaceful, regardless of what's happening on the surface? That's definitely something to chew on as you navigate your own waves this week.